The US-backed anti-government protests had a rally yesterday, and the turnout was very low, despite how supposedly important it was. Why was it important? This is a Bangkok Post article titled "Ruling Incenses Students." It's about how Thailand's courts cleared Thai Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-O-Cha in a case involving him staying at military housing after retiring. Because the courts cleared the Prime Minister, these so-called students claim they will only escalate their protests further. As it turns out, Thai law and the laws of almost every nation on earth give retired military personnel all sorts of benefits, and being able to live in military housing after retirement is one of those benefits. Now, this case was originally brought to the courts by fugitive billionaire Thaksin Shinawat's opposition party, Pheu Thai, and it was this US-backed billionaire-led opposition just fishing for a reason to legally oust Prime Minister Prayuth. And this flimsy case shows just how desperate they've become and how they lack any real reason to remove the current government from power. The protest yesterday was meant to complain about this ruling, but hardly anyone showed up. Look at these pictures. That's maybe 1,000 people or so at best in a city and surrounding areas where over 12 million people live. But I want to point out three things here. First, look at this stage. The Bangkok Post article said these are students. Really? Students paid for that stage, that huge LED screen there? And look at this. It's like a movie set, a courtroom where they held a mock trial. Students did not organize this. Second, look at this on the huge LED screen. For non-Thai speakers, this is the protest leaders on their main stage demanding the King of Thailand be ousted. Now, they began these protests complaining about the current government. Then later on, they added demands to reform the monarchy. Now they're openly calling for it to be ousted. And it just shows how dishonest this movement has been since the very beginning. How is the government supposed to take these protesters seriously when they aren't even being honest about, what their demands are? Between this and these attempts to find weak excuses to force the prime minister to resign, it's clear this protest isn't about principles. Those are just things the protesters are hiding behind. This is about an unpopular, corrupt opposition trying to get into power, and they're attacking the government, the courts, the military, and even the monarchy, because these are all things that protect Thailand from people like this. And third, when I say people like this, I mean people like this. Look at these protest guards blocking the road and attacking a car passing their illegal roadblock. If you look around, there is nowhere near enough protesters to even justify closing the roads in the first place. And why are they blocking the roads? Because they're upset. The courts cleared the prime minister because he spent his whole life serving in the Thai military, and the law allows him to stay in military housing after retiring. That's your reason for blocking traffic during rush hour? We saw this same thing happen in Hong Kong. After months of blocking roads and creating problems for the silent majority, people started standing up to the mobs, like ignoring their roadblocks and undoing all the damage they were doing down there. Now, it's important that people keep pressure on these protests and on the billionaire-led opposition hiding behind them, and also keeping pressure on the US-funded organizations behind both of them. Please like and share this video if you thought it was useful. Subscribing to my channel really helps it grow, and I really appreciate it when people do that. And check the video description for references, as well as ways you can help support my work. This includes a link to my Patreon account, where not only can you help contribute monthly, but you're also getting something back in return, extra content and benefits. For those who are already helping out, thank you so much. And to everyone, as always, thank you for watching.